We have 48 hours to finish this 6-liter Power Stroke, or we are going to have one angry customer. We sent the long block out to be completely redone by a third-party machine shop, and well, they did me wrong. Got it back, and we reassembled it, and put it together. It did not run correctly at all. Instead of sending it back and dealing with that, we just took it all apart here, fixed it ourselves, because in this world, you can't count on anyone but yourself. So we are in the middle of putting it back together again. It's a pretty cool engine on top. It's getting powder coat, big injectors, got a beautiful powder-coated KC2 turbo on it, regulated return. So it's not an epic build, but it's still pretty nice. And here, check out the piping. It's pretty cool. So we got King Sport Gray on a SoCal Billet piping kit. It's a little thumbprinty, but it's so pretty. We have an O-Dog intake, also powder-coated. KC Stage 2, also powder-coated. Not an epic build, but just a little fun one. And obviously all the trimmings that go with a 6-liter Power Stroke, you know, head studs, the heads were in O-ring, fuel bowl delete, the 6.4 oil filter housing, all that fancy stuff. It's super dirty and cluttered right now because we have it apart. It'll look real pretty once put it back together. Hopefully it runs this time correctly. It ran last time. It just had, you know, noises it shouldn't have had. So this 6-liter has been the absolute death of all things for the last couple weeks. We decided to leave the engine in the truck. Normally we just rip it back out, but we decided to leave it in because the issue was on the driver's side, and that head can come off in the truck. So we'd remove the cylinder head on the driver's side and get to the root of the issue. We had two issues. We had a cracked cylinder head, which was allowing fuel to enter the combustion chamber or the cylinder when it wasn't supposed to. We also had a failed lifter, and I believe the failed lifter happened because the engine tried to hydrolock itself after we started it up. We did run a compression test and a leak down test, and we did have everything inspected again to make sure everything's okay. There was no, I'm surprised it didn't bend the push rod and it just blew out the lifter, but it actually blew out the lifter pretty cool. So this lifter was sitting down in there with the snap ring just sitting on it like that. And if you wouldn't have double looked, you probably wouldn't have noticed it down in the hole, but that is not how that's supposed to be.
Oh, this is so dumb.
Does it need to be wobbled or wiggled, or give me another bolt? I'll get another one up here.
They have to be up there.
Okay.
That manifold's got to go up. All right, you're good. You're good. The problem is it's got to go up where your hand is and bolt in.
The size of my hands is hard. Ready?
You got it.
All right. Get out of here, Daddy's got this. I'll line this shit up. That one's done. I got one more right here.
Where'd you get those from?
Where you told me to get them.
Why do we have extra?
That's good, right?
No. No, it's not.
We're gonna tighten this bad boy right up. See her coming together?
When we don't have technicians and they stay at home, we have to, tap in Marchetti. He tries, but
Don't even talk your crap. It's a diesel. I can do cars.
What do you mean? Whoa,
I've never worked on diesels.
What is
ever.
the difference between putting an exhaust manifold on an F-150?
Nothing here, but to let you know, the gassers don't have spacers in them. I didn't know if you knew that.
Okay, well, it's irrelevant.
Yeah, you said what the difference is.
It's irrelevant.
No, you asked the difference. I told you. Other than that, nothing. All right.
Well, we'll be putting some powder coat on here real soon when he's done screwing around, so stay tuned for that.
We need to get that air blower or whatever so we can turn this thing into a 360 really fast. You ever seen them do that?
Yeah. We just need a good one. There's a crappy one over there.
Yeah, I know, that's Don's. That ain't gonna do nothing.
Oh, because it's Don's, it ain't gonna do nothing?
Yeah, because you know he bought it off Temu.
Just say yes. That is not a fuel injector. That is a spark plug.
Wait, there's spark plugs in diesels?
Yes.
I'm so confused now.
It's a diesel, so it's not gonna have any spark.
It has spark plugs. They're right here in my hand. We're putting the spark plugs in.
Okay.
Spark plug.
That's not a spark plug.
Yes, it is.
Let me look at it.
Is it a plug? It plugs a hole. Yes. Does it make it go bang? Yes.
Spark plug.
The attitude flying around the shop is ridiculous. Everybody's got attitude here. Who's crying? Nuh-uh, bud. I got a 5-hour energy drink. I ain't crying.
I was convinced there was something else wrong with it.
I told you what was wrong with it. You didn't believe me. I told him exactly what was wrong with it.
You did? You don't even know how an engine runs. So how are you going to tell me?
I don't know how an engine runs.
Okay. Now we got to tighten those spark plugs down to
37,240 foot-pounds. They should never come out. Need a hammer?
Got one right here.
Just using tools again.
Yep. Looking for bolts. This one's out. Alright, put it back down. Want to make sure all the bolts are in the holes. And then set it onto the engine very, very gently. We're going to be risking it here with Marchetti because he's like a bull in a china shop.
He's not lying, because I am. There.
So this intake is higher flow, similar to what people would call ported intake. But you got to deal with all these extra steps with these little bolts and then put the caps on and blah, blah, blah.
All right, you ready? Let's get her in. Try not to have this thing kick out from underneath us, because that would suck.
It has to sit flush down here. See this?
He rerouted
See
it.
this? See this? This seals against this. This cannot stay here. This has to be out here. Just so everybody understands, this is not the factory wiring harness locations at all.
Good. That looks good.
Well, every O-Dog we do never seals up. So stock intake has bolts that go all the way through it.
Yeah.
And inside of it has like little posts everywhere where those bolts are. So it creates resistance, a drag. This is wide open, so it's better flow. We have to get the bypass down here hooked up. You know what I didn't notice was that you took this bolt out. Why would you take that bolt out?
Oh, I did take that out. Because I never took one of these apart. You know, you're like, oh, why'd I take that apart? I realized after you took it apart that I didn't need to do it. So, and I was like, well, it's already off.
Dude, I'm super irritated about these bolts.
Where them bolts be at?
My next question is, who broke that?
That goes on that clamp. One by
So the SoCal Billet clamps that come all the way from California.
yeah, they
from
don't
SoCal
work for
Billet.
shit. They're like a one-use time only. One use only.
So now we don't have any clamps to put the truck back together. So Larry over there at SoCal is an amazing guy, and he makes an amazing product. And we're gonna have to talk to Larry about his clamps because
Yeah, the clamps aren't for dookie. I mean, they hold great,
he
but
ain't wrong. One time tighten them, that's it.
Yeah.
And if you leave them a little loose, then they don't hold. So you gotta max them out. It's just anyway.
bolts are in, you put those.
Once you put the bolts in, you get and you use a actual torque wrench and torque them down. Then you can put these on, and you're all done.
All right, do me a favor. I want to put this in. Keep this from flying backwards.
You
I'm
got
going to
it.
be putting some pressure on her. Ready?
Okay. Oh, it's been in my pocket. And just so you know, you don't ever have to pull out the injector snap rings when you take the wires off. Tighten you up. Well, if it makes you feel any better, it just took a light to the face, so.
Did it improve anything?
Oh, probably. Had to.
Turbo home.
This. Well, Mr. Marchetti, can I borrow 12 mil quarter-inch drive since mine are in my truck?
Yeah.
Thanks, pal.
The last time I see those tools.
Oh, really? the king of not putting tools back over
Okay,
there.
all my tools are in there.
Your tools. And then my
I find
tools
my grinder in
my
5
tools
different places
in
because he
Jones's.
borrows them all the time and leaves them here,
That ain't me.
here,
That's Landon.
and him.
My tools and Jones's tools are put away in your toolbox.
Remember, that's mine, you D-bag. That's brand new. You take it, I break your face. That's all my shit, homie. You like how it's nice and neat, unlike your toolbox?
Yeah, because everybody's in my toolbox.
I'm not. Actually, I am.
Mr. Marchetti broke stuff. When he went to pull this off, he was just bowling a china shop and broke it. And then, like a dummy, he took all these off. I don't really know why, though. Like, he even took the harness off the other side, which is a freaking nightmare with a... I don't know why he did this. This did not need to come off all the way. So when you go to put these on, you don't have to pull these clips out. All you do is push on them. Push and pull. Okay. So, this is gonna go over here like this. This is gonna go like that. And that is gonna sit like that. We will just go on our merry little way. With this O-Dog, which is extremely hard. The chances of us having a misfire because one of these is not seating correctly is pretty high. And then the O-Dog, the angle of the O-Dog really screws you when you try to put these on.
Did I break what? No? Are you using your muscles?
Well, I have to use my back most of the time.
Oh yeah, you can't use
So
that
I don't
then.
really have any. Nope. I don't think there is any
Just
more.
need a little bit more.
I don't think there is any more.
There is, we're gonna find it right now.
You cannot break it because you're gonna break his arm if you do.
Ready?
Yep.
Hang on. The AC compressor's not on.
It ain't
It'll go when you force it back. It didn't like to be maxed out.
Yeah, I already.
All right, well, it's been 24 hours and we got most of this thing back together. It's back together enough to see if it runs correctly. I really hope it runs correctly because I am done working on this thing. I mean, we got pizza and Gatorades laying everywhere. And I'm all, hello. See, I'm here all by myself besides our awesome camera guy who's a super helping hand. But anyway, let's fire this thing up and see if it works. There's still some stuff apart, but that's okay. We're together enough. So last time when I started this thing, it started, but it sounded rough. And it made this really, extra knock noise that it shouldn't have made. And it smoked out the tailpipe, a lot.
My motor's knocking hard tonight.
Got a banana on your tailpipe?
You're not gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
It's gonna crank for a while. Let's see what this says. Hey, look. It's like a straight line. Cylinder 2 and cylinder 4 were not happy. They built the long block, so that means that they assembled the rotating assembly. They put the lifters in, they put the heads on. We just had an somewhat assembled engine on a pallet. That makes me very. We just dressed it. We put the front cover on, water pump, wiring, injectors, things like that. Normally we do a little more than that, but in this case, I outsourced it, and well, I'm not doing that again. I got the piping on, I got the motor mounts need to be double checked. Everything needs to be just double checked. Fluids need to be topped off. So like I said, we have 48 hours to get this done. And that's a timeline that I put on it because, well, we're losing money at every step. Again, we outsourced some of it and it bit me in the butt. It is what it is. We could have covered all that up. We could have made it take 5 minutes, A lot of shops that are running purely on YouTube doing things, especially like, if you're out in the country pulling trucks out of the weeds and getting them running. It's real easy to just say, yeah, we can do that in 2 days when that's all you have to do. There is some edit power behind them as well. But all I have to do around here is, well, come with me for a minute and I'll show you. This needs to be done. This engine job over here that we're behind on needs to be done. This trailer's been in my way for 4 days because I can't get to it. There's 2 engines over there. There's 3 high horsepower Samwise transmissions sitting right there that need to be put in. I got a triple turbo 7.3 that doesn't run right. I got new trans and a brand new truck. That truck's actually beautiful. I got a Duramax which nobody should have a Duramax, but we got one, and that's behind schedule because, well, employee issues. But see, we could cut all that out, but we're not going to do that. I got to get an engine and an axle and a transmission in this one. This one is almost done finally. It's in test drive mode and just making sure she's okay. That one right there, that white one, is getting cab up, box off, sandblasted and powder coated frame. It's getting about a 700 horsepower 7.3, getting a Samwise transmission, and we are way behind on that one. This is one of our fleet customers who's having an issue with their P-pump Cummins. We got to get that done. And then we also work on cars. We have an auto tech who does everything from BMW, Mercedes to a domestic Chevy, whatever. That's getting a transmission and some other stuff. We got all of our project builds happening back here that we never have time for. If you've seen the John Malecki build, we would much rather be working on Mr. Malecki's truck, but we are a functioning business and we are very, very busy and very, very short-handed, and one truck can be the death of us, so we just have to stay on top of it. And that's just what's in the building. We've noticed in the comments people saying we have so many trucks outside of our building. Well, here's outside of our building. One of our fleet customers needs to be serviced. Obviously another 6-liter with a running problem. Mercedes getting an engine, a 6.7 getting a trans, another 6.7 getting a trans, and then that is a pull truck, believe it or not. He does sled pulling with that, powder coated everything, big horsepower. The last time we dynoed that, it was 825 to the wheels on a 6.4 Power Stroke. It's a super cool truck. Just trucks. They all need to be fixed. Every one of them has to come in. Every one of them has to come in the next couple days. This entire parking lot will rotate out in the next week or two. And it just keeps happening and happening, which is good as long as we can stay up on it. As I mentioned, we've had some employee issues. So when that happens, we do slow down a little bit. But 1, 2, maybe 3 that we get screwed up on, or parts don't work out right, or a third party hurts us on, or something like that, we're not big enough to recover from that. We're really trying. But again, small town America is where we are. It's difficult. We're not going to be the people that edit it out. We're going to let you see all of it. I'm not going to just blink and show the truck running. I'm not going to blink and show the parking lot empty. We're going to bring you along for the ride. If it works or it doesn't, you're coming with us. All right, we got the Excursion done. We barely missed our 48-hour window, but we made it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and don't forget to check out those John Malecki build series. We got more videos coming. Don't forget to like and subscribe so we can keep doing this and meet our goal to start a school in this big old shop. We thank you. We love you. You guys have a great day. See you later.